Hi, my name is Michelle Sterry. I'm a specialist midwife for Healthy Lifestyles in Gloucestershire, and I'm here today to talk to you about alcohol during pregnancy and postnatally. So thank you for joining me here on the Healthy Me Baby and Beyond Facebook page. It's really lovely to see you, and thank you also for sending questions forward through your health coach or through our Facebook and Instagram pages. So I'm going to try my best to answer your questions and give you some information, tips and advice on alcohol, and also how to stay healthy during pregnancy and how to access support, because there's lots of support available as long as you know where it is and how to access it. So the main form of support that we're offering right now is the Healthy Me Baby and Beyond programme, which is a free lifestyle support programme for women in Gloucestershire who are pregnant and up to the child's second birthday. And you can be referred by your midwife health visitor, or you can refer yourself onto the programme. And we also have a website, so you could look at us on the website and fill out a referral form with yourself or your friends, or you can phone us, and the phone number for us is 0800 122 3788. Okay, so that's Healthy Lifestyles Gloucestershire, and for the support programme Healthy Me Baby and Beyond, that's led by myself and some maternity health coaches. Good. Okay, so one of the first questions that's come in is, I know it isn't recommended to drink alcohol during pregnancy, but I really don't know why. Okay, so let's start with that one. So the current advice is not to drink during pregnancy, okay? And the reason is alcohol will enter your bloodstream, and therefore it will enter your baby's bloodstream, okay? And it is not safe, okay? Alcohol can affect the baby's growth and development at any stage during pregnancy. But the first trimester, the first 12 weeks, are particularly important when the baby is developing the foundations of its whole being, and all the cells are growing and developing, and therefore the alcohol is poisonous to the developing baby. So advice is not to take on board any alcohol at all. Okay. The problem is some people don't know they're pregnant and have had a drink, have been out, and they worry about this, and the risks from a few drinks on the odd occasion in early pregnancy is very low, okay, and it's a very common thing and doesn't normally cause any problems. The risks are from ongoing drinking, okay, sustained drinking, and excessive drinking, okay, and this can cause a problem with miscarriage, with baby being born early or prematurely, as we call it, babies having low birth weight. Sadly, some babies don't survive pregnancy if alcohol intake is very high, and those that are born can have problems throughout their life with learning problems and behaviour problems. And there's quite an uncommon disorder called fetal alcohol syndrome, which is associated with people who drink very heavily during pregnancy. So the government advice at the moment is don't drink at all, because it does enter your body and therefore enters the baby's body. So to really minimise any risks at all, as soon as you know you're pregnant, stop drinking. Okay, that's the best advice we can give. Okay, so if this is difficult for you, we do have a specialist midwife similar to myself, who can support women who have problems with alcohol. Okay, so we can get a referral to our specialist midwife, and we have a consultant who specialises in supporting women who have difficulties with drinking alcohol, and we have a really good service in Gloucestershire called Change, Grow, Live. Okay, so I can post that information at the end of the live stream, so you can look them up for yourself, or maybe for friends or family who you think may be in need of that information. Okay, so let's get back to the questions, okay, from the moms that you've sent to me, which is absolutely brilliant. How early in pregnancy does alcohol affect the baby? I think I may have answered that really. The best advice is, as soon as you know you're pregnant, do stop, because alcohol will affect the baby at any stage, and the first trimester is really vital for laying the foundations for the rest of your child's health and development. So we've got the question, I'm off to a wedding in a few months, hopefully. Obviously at the minute we are in different times altogether in terms of the coronavirus outbreak, social distancing, lockdown. I'm sure you're all well aware that if you're pregnant, you are classed as more vulnerable to the coronavirus because you have a lower immunity. So we do recommend that you isolate and social distance as much as possible. Even though restrictions are lifting, do take special care. So it's quite possible that the wedding will be a virtual wedding if it goes ahead for you. But if there are any celebrations, and you can do this virtually, people will be taking a drink and joining in. It says, can I have one small glass of toast, or is it best to ask for a soft drink as an alternative? Well, the thing is, most women during pregnancy don't enjoy alcohol. Things taste different. It's almost like nature's way of saying you don't need this, you shouldn't have this, and therefore you don't enjoy it. So it's quite possible that you don't want it. So if you can avoid it, then yes, I would say avoid it, and have an alternative. Have something no alcohol, or have some sparkling water, or you could have the tonic without the gin. You can make some nice punches with no alcohol, some mocktails, they're really popular. So you could do some experimenting, and they could actually be healthy because you could be using fruit juices and fruits in them too. So yeah, we can kind of think a bit wider about what we're drinking and make it fun, and you may well encourage other members of your household to join in too. So that's some ideas to throw out there for you to experiment with. It is hard sometimes for people to avoid drinking, okay, if it's all around you. Okay, so I think most people will respect the fact that you say that you're pregnant, that you're trying to protect your baby and do the best to keep yourself baby, and therefore keep your baby healthy, and avoid alcohol, and that's great. You normally do get support. Okay, sometimes if you're suffering from a lot of stress, and that could be heightened at the moment if you're confined to the home, you're not able to get out, there may be issues with finances, with your social circumstances, with your housing, with your work, because some people are able to work because of the coronavirus, and can be causing a lot of undue stress. And some people find that having a drink helps them to relax. Okay, and I do understand that a social drink can help you to relax. However, sometimes if you have a few drinks, it helps you sort of relax and feel happy in the moment, but the next day it can make you feel lower in mood. Okay, so it can have the opposite effect that you're looking for in the longer term. So relying on alcohol as a mood enhancer or mood lifter isn't the best way forwards in terms of your emotional well-being and having sort of a more positive outlook on life, because it can actually create more negative thought patterns long term. So it's best really not to rely on having a drink to de-stress, and maybe take a look at the recording that we did on feeling your best, positive mental well-being, relaxation. Yeah, so there's some tips on that video on other things you can do, alternatives to relax, to unwind, to give yourself some self-care, okay, and start feeling your best. Okay, so those are some tips that you can look at on the other video, and I can post a few bits and pieces at the end of this live stream. to support you. Okay, to some further reading and see how we can take care of ourselves. So I've talked about no alcohol drinks, and there's a question that came forward: is it okay to have low or no alcohol drinks? And no alcohol drinks are fine. If they're low alcohol, they do contain alcohol, so if possible, avoid them. Okay, so do read your labels, and that's across the board really with anything you're eating and drinking when you're pregnant. It's just to read the labels, check your ingredients, because there can be hidden things in there, like a lot of sugar. Okay, so, and that's the same with alcohol. There are a lot of calories in alcohol, and there can be a lot of calories in soft drinks too. So that could be an excess of sugar that we don't need, okay, that we can't process very well. Over intake of sugar can lead to pregnancy diabetes, and can cause complications of pregnancy with baby growing too big and needing monitoring. So it's worth thinking about what's in your drinks in terms of monitoring your sugar and calorie intake, and keeping it healthy. Okay, so yes, they are available. The only other thing to look for in drinks is obviously caffeine, and energy drinks are not recommended during pregnancy. Okay, they're a stimulant, and they're not healthy, so we would advise you not to have energy drinks, but also check drinks for containing caffeine. For example, some cola drinks contain caffeine, and you know, as the day progresses, if you're taking a lot of these on board, you might be taking in too much caffeine, and that can affect your metabolism and baby's metabolism too. Okay, so that's something to look out for. So that's sort of covering really alcohol and pregnancy. We're going to have a think about after you had the baby, you're going to want to celebrate. Go right ahead and do that. That's a good thing. Question that's coming really is about can I drink alcohol and breastfeed? And the thing is, as I mentioned previously, if you take a drink on board, it's going to get into your bloodstream, and your milk supply, your milk is derived, you know, from your body, from your blood. So some of the alcohol will pass into your milk, in the same way that medicines will. So really, it is not advised to drink whilst you're breastfeeding. Okay, so there are ways around that. If you did have a big celebration coming up, some people might express their milk and then leave that for baby, so that someone else can feed the baby, so you can have a night out or a night away. So there are ways around it, and then you can avoid giving baby the milk during that period that you've been drinking. So there are ways around it, and you can speak to our breastfeeding specialist midwife, or go onto the Gloucestershire Hospital Trust web pages and access lots of up-to-date information about breastfeeding, and a new section on breastfeeding advice during the coronavirus outbreak. So that would be worth taking a look at if you're interested. Okay, so postnatally, you may revert back to your pre-pregnancy diet and drinking habits. So just a quick recap, not just for yourself, but for baby's father and for the family members around the baby, about what's safe and healthy drinking levels. And the current government guidelines are not to drink more than 14 units of alcohol per week. Okay, and that's for men and women. The thing is, it's working out what a unit of alcohol is, okay, and that can be tricky, okay, because we might imagine that one glass constitutes 1 unit, but it just isn't the case, because alcohol content varies in different products, wines and beers and ciders. They can be strong, they can be weak, okay, a lot of them are strong. So, for example, 1 unit of spirits, one measure of spirits is 2 units, and a standard glass of wine can be 2 or up to 4 units, depending on the strength of the wine. So we can be consuming far more units than what we realised. Okay, so have a think about that. We've got some resources here at Healthy Lifestyles if you need any help with that. We have got some nice drinks diaries, okay, which we can produce online for you to fill in, and you can you or your partner or your family member can track how many drinks they've had and work out how many units that is equivalent to try and keep this into a safe level, okay. Because as I mentioned previously, excuse me, if you are drinking a lot of alcohol, it might make you feel good in the moment, but often you can feel quite low the next day. And if you are having problems with low mood or depression, anxiety, sometimes it's sort of seen as something to help you manage those moods and get through the day, but actually it can be making the problem worse, or actually could be the cause of the problem in some cases. So do seek help if you find that you're using alcohol to improve the way you feel. Long term, over drinking can lead to health problems, not just with through injuries, because you're more prone to injuries if you've been drinking. You're more prone to having domestic problems and more prone to having long-term health problems, such as cancer of the mouth, throat and breast, and problems with the liver function. Okay, so for those reasons it's really, really good to modify your drinking, think about your relationship with alcohol and keep it healthy, and enjoy it for celebrations, okay, with other people at an appropriate time, so there's a time and place. If you want any other resources, you can contact us here at Healthy Lifestyles. We have free health coaching service, and there's also a really great app called NHS 1U. So NHS do have some great resources, so do have a look at that app if you want to do any tracking or have any information on units of alcohol and effects. That's a really good one to look at. And NHS Choices, great one-stop shop for information. It's always just 1 or 2 pages, and it's up to date, evidence-based, and it's really easy to digest. Okay, so you know you're safe with NHS Choices. Good. So it's really, really good to see you all here today. I hope you're meeting up with your coaches online or by phone still, and getting the support that is here for you throughout your pregnancy and through the early years. And we will continue with our weekly question and answer sessions here on this Facebook page. And in next month we are going to do a postnatal group. Okay, we're hoping to do a postnatal group on Zoom, on the Zoom platform, so we can all see each other, and we can go through our program which we developed just before lockdown. We're about halfway through it, so we can run a lovely postnatal program for mums with babies of 0 to 6 months, and really support you through those first few months. Okay, talking about feeding and healthy homes, smoke-free homes, talking about family nutrition, and all about the services available in Gloucestershire. And there are some great services around, so we can signpost you to all of those. Well, thank you all again for joining me. It's really lovely to stay connected. And do let us know, are there any topics you'd like us to cover? We're all health related, healthy lifestyles related, and we would do our best to present a session on those. And you can send questions or suggestions to your health coach, or you can post them here, or you can give them to me direct. Okay, that's lovely. So thank you all for listening. Take care, stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.